There are only two things you need to succeed at art. Number 1, observation. Number 2, shapes. That's it, really. There are so many things that go into understanding art, and I admit it might be a disservice to all of the hard work that goes into learning how to draw to simply distill it into 2 steps. But at the end of the day, all the other things in art will feel so much easier through the lens of observation and shapes. So what do I mean by observation? When I was learning art, so many people told me to observe, and I didn't understand it. I saw things all of the time. Did that simply make me a better artist? The answer is kind of complicated. Yes and no. To see and to observe are very different things. To observe something is to notice what makes it unique, to study what you see and try to make sense of it. As a beginner, the most important thing you can do is observe references, whether it's a photo or in real life. Understanding and studying what you see will help you grow your mental library, which will help you over hurdles in your art journey. Observing your reference can be as simple as recognizing that shadows are less saturated, or that ears become more saturated if your subject is backlit. Observation will be your best friend throughout your entire art journey. In the beginning, you'll use it to understand the world around you in an artistic way, but as you grow as an artist, you'll be using it to learn how to transform the world around you to tell a story. Now, pair that with an understanding of shapes and the world is yours. Shapes are everywhere. Everything we see is made of shapes. Your hand, a dog, a tree, everything is shapes. And when we observe the things around us and recognize the shapes in them, we can start to recognize patterns that can help us replicate the world around us with more ease. Take for example an eye. For me, I found the eyes easiest to understand as 2 shapes. The main oval shape and this small triangle in the inner corner. Now, because you recognize these shapes, you know when drawing an eye there's an oval and a small triangle. All eyes will have an oval and a small triangle. This is where combining observation and shapes becomes a bit magical. Now that you recognize the shapes of the eye, you can find references and study how those shapes change as the face changes. From this angle, you can barely see the triangle, but from this one, you can easily see both. Now you've learned more information about the eye just from observing those shapes. Our brains are more likely to take in information when we're actively studying something. So the next time you go to draw an eye from this angle, you'll have that new information stored away in your mental library. Feel free to collect some references and just trace the shapes you see. Find the patterns in those shapes. Trace the shapes of 10 cats or whatever you want to study, and see what shapes are repeated most frequently. Start with big shapes and get a silhouette, and when you feel comfortable, go ahead and work smaller. What shapes make up the head? The body? What are the big shapes of the face, of the features? And don't forget to acknowledge the shapes in the negative space as well. What shape is between the ears? How big is that space? Grab different expressions to see how those shapes change as your subject changes. As you progress and learn, your mental library will grow, and these 2 steps will help you learn faster and more efficiently. I know it can be hard to know exactly what to study when you're starting. It can be overwhelming to start and have a sea of fundamentals to dive into. And learning to observe and understand shapes won't make you a master in a week, but it will help the other fundamentals feel easier.